Hey guys, welcome back to my team, episode 3. We are now in the Australian Grand Prix week, getting ready for Australia. We got some upgrades coming soon. Taking a look at some sponsorships, taking a look at the standings. We have Max Verstappen leading the championship with Russell and Perez behind. And Ferrari's had a couple blunders last couple races, so I think Ferrari should overtake Mercedes this weekend. But just taking a look at the driver market, I'm going to be looking at Oscar Piastri and Teo Porcher to maybe replace Versure. Because Versure's been good, but I really want Piastri and Teo Porcher. Those are the two that I would actually, I would love to have in my team. So yeah, maybe. Ooh, they do have Hulkenberg. I just saw that 4 million. I don't know if I could do that this season, but maybe like mid-season next year, we go to Nico, super sub. Comparing stats between Piastri and Porcher. Now we're gonna look at some R&D. Not gonna be able to upgrade anything at the moment with only 100 points. Looking at the progress. Now we're gonna just fill out the activity timeline here. Just gonna do it, so, just go through the motions here. Super excited for Australia now because Australia is now revamped with the long straight instead of that little section in Sector 2. I'm about to advance time, past the funded team event, and of course, our engine upgrade does not pass, it fails. It is going to be 100% complete next time. We don't even have enough points to get it, which is sick. Love that. We're just going to advance. We only have weekly races the next day. I'm going to stop and see if we can get that pass now. And we are able to. We come before the Imola Grand Prix. So now we're going to advance again. Get some more sponsor event promotion stuff. And we have the Pirelli Hot Lap, where we are doing the last sector, like the last sector and a half of Australia. We don't really get to do the new part. Here we're braking super early because it's in a Mercedes AMG, and this thing is an absolute boat to drive. And the first attempt doesn't go great, 93. And that's pretty much all we're able to get there. It was a pretty hard challenge, not gonna cap. But now we have some practice laps, and I'll tell you, these practice programs were tough. Maybe I'm just not good at Australia, but these practice programs are tough, like really hard to beat. And it wasn't like I didn't have any pace in the car. Like you see, I'm like ahead of Magnussen and Ocon, who are all mediums, but I'm like 5/10 off my target, which just didn't really make sense to me. On the next lap, getting closer, but we just, look how much time we lose on that exit. We're gonna be on the exit of the last corner, pretty good exit. I mean, look at it, 6/10 down again. As we go down to 5/10 once again. Like, we're only 2/10 off our teammate who's on softs, and we were on mediums. So now we go into softs, and look at that time gain. 6/10 onto the straight now. This is the new long straight on Australia. Just gonna go into this very, very tricky corner. It's one of the trickiest corners on the game, in my opinion. Go a little wide on the exit. We're a second up on our previous best. Trying to get it just right, a little bit of oversteer on the exit of that corner. Going down to 5th gear for that corner. Hit the apex nice. Down to 3rd gear for the last corner. Get a nice tight exit. Don't have any more ERS to deploy all the way to the line. It's going to be a second gain. And from 19th, you go to 16th. Only a 10th down on Guanyu in the Alfa Romeo. And we're gonna look at some engine wear. We're gonna replace my combustion engine. No penalty. but we're just going to look at some components that we might need to change. And we're going to look at the gearbox. It's at 45%. And we have 4 gearboxes. So I think, you know, it's worth it to, you know, change it. Just so we don't have it be a problem. But we don't fix it there. Go through the practice programs. Then we get our R&D. And now we can maybe look to get an upgrade for another race upcoming. I enjoy this track. It's just hard, man. It is a good flowing track. I like the updates. Now looking at some R&D and see what we can do. Can't really do anything. We're all booked up pretty much. Just kind of taking a look when everything will be done. Looking at a lot of upgrades being done by Imola, which is great. Great boost, but right now we're the worst car in the grid. Worst car in the grid. Not a great feeling. Now going into we're on the first lap of qualifying here. We have a car right behind us of Charles Leclerc. He came out of the pits behind us and he was following me this whole lap. Maybe a little bit anxious. You know, rushing, but I don't want to have to deal with traffic from the Ferrari behind. Activate DRS on the back straight. And going into on the last corners, Magnussen sets a 19.4. And I was my goal was low 18s for this first time. I think it was low 18s or low 19s, one of those two. I forgot which one. Pretty sure it was low 18s. I don't remember what it was, but it was definitely not bad. And 29. They say Magnus, he got it 19.4. They were on the second lap. Behind me was sure our teammate, which was kind of shocking because he was not doing well in practice. I was very concerned with how bad he was in practice. But we are 9/10 up on our previous time. 1.2. This is a huge lap. What a lap. 1.3 up. Across the line. What is it? It's P16. We got out of Q1. YMBG Motorsports is out of Q1 for the first time ever into Q2. What a lap. With the worst car in the grid, we get out of Q1. Beating Mick Schumacher, Lance Stroll, Nicolas Tibian, Ogden Albon, our teammate, and Ricardo. Ricardo didn't set a time, and look how close it is between me and Mick. It's 0.003 of a second. Now into Q2. Everything now is house money. Verstappen setting a 23. That's pretty bad, actually. I think I could beat that, actually. For this first lap, at least. And we had 2 sets of fresh softs. So we're in this qualifying session. Activating DRS to the line. Perez is voicing Verstappen. What's going on? We're ahead of both Perez and Verstappen. Problems at Red Bull. Look at that. That can't stand. They have to be better last lap. Now going to our next lap. 7/10 up. Perez is still behind us. We are 6/10, 6.5 tenths. Perez behind us to the line. What is it going to be? It's P16. Still a really good qualifying. Let's see how close we were. Couldn't have been that far off, right? Had to be pretty close. Okay. George Russell out in Q2. That's a bit shocking. George Russell out. And there was a Hassan. That's interesting.
continue with what could shape up to be one of the best Australian Grand Prix ever. We're a stone's throw from the enormous Port Phillip Bay for today's race at the 3.28 mile Albert Park circuit. It's a bumpy racing surface here, and the 14 corners could prove especially difficult in the wet conditions. So watch out for a safety car at some point during this Grand Prix. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position. A very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Hamilton, Sergio Perez, and Bottas. Magnussen, Tsunoda, Gasly, and Guan Yu Zhou. Fernando Alonso, Ocon, George Russell, and Norris. Vettel, Greg, Mick Schumacher, and Lance Stroll. Latifi, Albon, Richard Verschoor, and Daniel Ricciardo fills the last spot on the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. It's not going to be plain sailing for our drivers today, although with the sky falling as it is, perhaps sailing isn't too far from the truth. Natalie Pinkham, good to have you with us today. Your thoughts?
It is a touch damp, isn't it? As a driver, there are three big things to worry about when racing in these conditions: standing water, tyre temperature, and visibility. Judging distance to the cars around you is really tricky when you're driving through the vast amounts of spray that these wet weather Pirelli tyres kick up.
All right, let's get to it. It's a wet start. I haven't had a wet race yet, so it's gonna be interesting. Gotta get to the grid sequence here. And a couple of times I've done angled, but when it's wet, I think I might just go for a straight shot, I like these grid sequences. I might cut some out, but I do like them. They're a good feature. Basically pushing Norris into his sequence. And we got a purple grid sequence start. Alright, 5 lights. Up. And out. Now we go. Yeah, but good start. A little wheel spin. But can we get it? Oh no, it's gonna go down the inside. Oh, we got a couple of the cars going down outside of Gasly. And outside, looking to Zhou. Nothing's there. We're gonna fight Gasly. Down into turn 3. Gonna outbrake him. Ooh, and just trying to stick with it. Side by side of Gasly, force them onto the curb a little bit, and we're gonna get that position back. Oh, we have the heavy lift in the rain. And we're just going to squeeze Gasly out, make sure we keep that place. Now onto a long straight here at Albert Park. I found that this weekend the car did have decent straight line speed. Alonso has taken over Gasly now at the start of lap 2.
Okay, you're in the top 10.
Going into turn 1. Trying to keep him up. It's a little gap now between them. Oh, yellow flag. Where? Ooh, what's happening behind us? Alonso loses the rear end. Oh! Pierre Gasly is out of the Australian Grand Prix as he gets tagged. And Hamilton has wind damage now. As he also hits Gasly. Oh my goodness. And the Haas narrowly misses. Great reactions from Mick Schumacher. Oh my goodness, what a way to start this race. Safety car. As we were going to catch the safety car and showcase more of the broadcast version of the safety car. AI is going to take control. As we can now see, oh, that was Russell, not Hamilton. Hamilton's higher up. I forgot Russell's the one who qualified lower. So that was Russell. Leclerc And Sainz still up front, in front of Verstappen. Verstappen hasn't done them like he did in Saudi Arabia. I'm gonna let Max trying to just get as many points as he can against the Ferraris. They do have the better car. And now the safety car is ended. Alonso also got a 5-second penalty from that incident, which is very deserved. He made a mistake, but he also caused the crash, so. Alright, we are getting ready to go. Racing. And safety car in. And as we turn the corner, we get an awful message. The engine blows up right before we're about to get going. And this is the worst time. We are P10. P10. There are points on the table here. In a wet race where we can mitigate like disadvantage where we have disadvantage with the car. We can take advantage of their skill, and the car gives out. The car gives out, and we retire from the Australian Grand Prix. This is heartbreak. Heartbreak City, man. This is just awful, man.
Ferrari have really pulled it out of the bag today. It's a great win. So, Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we could talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those that we've witnessed today.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix. And they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
I simply cannot believe what just happened. Ferrari stopped blundering. They get a 1-3, I think. So Max passes Carlos. So Max gets some decent points. Yeah, 1-2, 1-3 for Ferrari. So good points for Ferrari. But, oh my goodness, I can't believe this happened. In this race, why couldn't it happen at, like, opening race would have been good because we were nowhere. I mean, Jeddah, I had a fun race a little bit in Jeddah, so that would have been,
Max
but, like,
Verstappen should be pleased with his performance.
you always
gains at
feel
the
like
top of
this
the
because,
table.
like,
Let's focus on
you're
driver
so,
of the day,
like,
Natalie Finkham. Come on,
it just
who do you
hurts.
pick?
Well, there's no question
It
in
just
my mind.
hurts.
It has to go to George Russell. What a performance. He's got every right
Russell
to be proud of what
got
he
up to
accomplished
sixth.
out there today.
Pretty good
It's
for
time
the
to check out the
Mercedes driver.
constructors' standings. No change in
Driver
the top spot, but
standings,
with today's points,
Leclerc
their hold on the lead is
punches
getting
elite,
weaker.
holding the lead,
Meanwhile,
and Ferrari
have
are
moved their
actually in
position.
punching
A
distance.
strong weekend for them as they
Ferrari
fight their
have
way
a good weekend,
towards the top. Been
but
an
I do
absolutely
not have a
wild
good
weekend
weekend,
of Formula
and the
One
team
action.
does not have a good
Can't wait
weekend.
to see what's next.
I'm in pain, man. This is awful. I'm gonna go back to the home menu and focus on Imola because we do have a bunch of upgrades coming for Imola, so that should be exciting. The only thing that'll make this worth it is if we get that acclaim level 5 for a new sponsor, and we get it. We get it. I still can't believe that though. Right off the safety car, right off it, man. I mean, maybe it was just like it got running high temperatures and then it dropped temperatures because like that's like logistically maybe, but like that just hurts, man. That just hurts, man. Oh my goodness. We have 1.3 mil, so we might be able to get a facility upgrade pretty soon. But I don't know, man. I'm still in shock from that. That's just awful. And it was our energy store that failed. Our energy store, and that completely just, oh my goodness. That's like, it's not even like the combustion engine that I just put on. It's just, but I do a new gearbox. I would have been kicking myself if my gearbox is the one that failed. But, oh my, That's just pain. That is pain. But that'll do it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time in Imola. Peace.